The turnout here has been incredible. This is our country. This is power to the people, full of love. It's been amazing. Really what we're asking for is the recusal of the Attorney General. Leave the investigation alone, let it run its course, let the rule of law run its course. It's so easy to be watching the news and think that everyone is hateful, that the president's a bully. Our voices, I think, are quieter than the right. I think we're maybe more polite, but guess what? This election has turned a lot of people, got them on their feet. We have the momentum, the people have the momentum. Don't stop the momentum, just keep it going. Write your congressman, congresswoman, and don't stop. Thank you, everybody, for coming out here today. I am no public speaker. I am no active politician, but I am sick of what's happening in this country. No one is above the law. I don't think anybody necessarily wants to be out here today, especially so soon after the midterms, after so many people put so many man hours, so much time, so much effort. I think we're all pretty tired. We're definitely all really cold right now. But we need to make a stand, and we need to let this country know that no one is above the law. Right. Yeah. This is Bloomington. 24 hours. We rise up and we show up and we demand to be heard and seen. And we are matched by people all across the country who are doing the same. We're in front of a beautiful limestone courthouse that goes back, our community goes back 200 years. Our country's older than that, and we were founded because we know you have to be accountable to the people. We had a war about this. We started our country because we knew how important it was for all leadership to be accountable to the people, to be beholden to the law. It feels solid as limestone sometimes, what we depend upon in this country. The rule of law, that we the people run things. It belongs to us. The government belongs to us, right? It doesn't belong to anybody else. And yet, within 12 hours after an important election, we had a dramatic action taken by the President of the United States to threaten that accountability to the orderly process of law. And you know what we do when that happens? We show up, and we let our voices be heard. And I'm so proud of you for being here for Bloomington, along with a lot of people around the country, because we the people control the government. We the people own the government, and that is us. Thank you for being here. I'm
We are exhausted from having worked day after day, night after night in the midterm elections. And here in Bloomington, we did a phenomenal job. We set a 57% of registered voters record. Yay! Let me just say something. Our president said, no time to rest. No rest for the weary. Through this immediate action that challenges something I know about, the rule of law, the Constitution, President Trump said he's not going to slow down, and neither can we. Neither can we. No rest. No rest. So the firing of our Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, for the sole reason that he obeyed the rule of law and recused himself as he had to from the Russian investigation that pissed Donald Trump off, because he would not, in violation of ethics, he would not protect the president against the need for an independent investigation of wrongdoing, high-level wrongdoing, he got fired by our president in an outrageous, well here, I'm going to quote Kellyanne Conway's husband, George Conway. Did anyone see that piece in the New York Times that came out already? He said that it makes a mockery of our Constitution, that this appointment of a new acting Attorney General, unprecedented, to appoint someone not in the line of succession of the Department of Justice, who is not even in a Senate-confirmed position at the Department of Justice. This is, in the words of Kellyanne Conway, counselor to Donald Trump. Her husband said it makes a mockery of our Constitution, and I agree.
Yes. Yes.
No question it's an outrage against the rule of law, our Constitution, wrong, total break with our history and tradition and the statutes that say if the Attorney General is unable to participate in the matter or resigns entirely, the powers go to the Deputy Attorney General, and then the Associate Attorney General, then the Solicitor General, then the head of LLC, where I was. And Trump has bypassed all that and chosen somebody who has outright expressed strong hostility to the Mueller investigation. We need to insist that he recuse himself from overseeing this investigation. But we need to just do everything we can, contact our representatives, write letters to the editor, do everything you can to put the pressure on to get Whitaker to recuse himself from the Mueller investigation and keep it in the hands of Deputy Attorney General, who's the acting Attorney General on this matter, Rod Rosenstein. So we have all kinds of battles still ahead. I'm so glad to be fighting that fight in this place, in Bloomington, where this number of people can gather in a matter of hours to speak up for what is right. Thank you for coming.
I'm Angie Purdy. I'm the Commissioner's Administrator, and they asked that I come out here to represent them. They're currently working hard at a meeting in the courthouse right now and can't be here, but they are so thrilled that you guys are here, and they want to make sure that you know that they are supportive of you. They want you to not give up hope, to always know that they are there fighting for you at every turn. And so I'm just here to represent Amanda Barge, Patrick Stokers, and Julie Thomas, who are our commissioners and working in our beautiful courthouse. And they are so excited, actually, that you guys are here and that you care. So I just wanted to pass that along.
I would like to raise a related matter. In the final days of the Richard Nixon presidency, as impeachment and removal from office loomed, people around him became extremely worried that he would use nuclear weapons. Professor Elaine Scarry of Harvard University has written a book called The Thermonuclear Monarchy. And the paradox is that although only Congress can authorize war, the President of the United States has the unilateral ability to use nuclear weapons, the most terrifying weapon ever invented. So we are bringing to Congress, and have since the inauguration of Donald Trump, a measure to require congressional approval for the first use of nuclear weapons. And I encourage everyone, whether you're writing to Democrats or to Republicans, to insist that the Constitution's Article 1, that the ability to go to war is in the hands of Congress, must be upheld in the case of nuclear weapons. And never has this been more important than when we have an irresponsible chief executive who might resort to nuclear crisis to save his own power. Thank you.
There is a lot riding on what we do now. We showed up tonight, but this cannot be just the moment. This is the beginning of action. I want to see how many of you are going to commit to contacting Trey Hollingsworth's office and Joe Donnelly's office and Todd Young's office within the next 2 days. Raise your hand. Okay, you're going to make those calls, you're going to email, you're going to post on their Facebook pages, you're going to let them know what we think about this. How many of you are going to write a letter to the editor, not just to the HC, but also submit it to other papers in this state, and let them know what all these action items we've been talking about, what do you want them to do? Raise your hand. Letters to the editor. All right, you're committing now. This is our democracy. Donald Trump may think that the Attorney General is his personal lawyer. He is not. He is our lawyer. They work for us. Bob Mueller is doing this investigation for us. This is our country, our democracy. We love this country, and now we got to get back to work again. So follow through on your commitments. Write those letters to the editor. Contact our elected officials. If you want to contact Trump and tell him what you think, go right ahead. I personally can't bring myself to do it because somebody would show up at my doorstep. But, okay, so this is just the beginning. Thank you. I drove an hour to be here, one way. And I have a connection to Dawn Johnson. She's a law professor at the law school where I attended. She's an educator. I'm a practitioner. And let me tell you something. I defend criminal defendants every day. Do you think they get to pick their investigators? Exactly. Do you think they get to pick the person who decides whether or not they committed a crime? Hell no, they don't get to pick that person. Hell no, they don't. Why does he get a different set of rules than you do? Why? That's not justice. That's not justice. He is not above the law. No. How many of you became familiar with the Senate map this year? How many of you know how shitty it was for us? Guess what? 2 years from now, the shoe's on the other foot. It's going to be shitty for the Republicans. You need to call your senators and you need to tell them that they need to be on the right side of this because it's going to change in 2 years.
And they'd be on the left side.
That's right. You need to stay involved. You need to stay active. As tired as you are, all that work you put in, it wasn't for nothing. We won the House. Next time we're going to win the Senate. Yeah! And the next time we're going to win the Oval Office.
But like they were saying, this isn't over. This isn't even close to being over. We still got an election coming up. 2 years is going to go by in a flash. And guess what? If we just stay at home every day, that flash is going to be disappointing at the end. It sure is. Yeah, so we need to have to keep coming out. I'm going to be out here as much as possible. As much as possible. Write your senators, write your congressmen. There's more than we could do. This is amazing, though. That just to be in a place of like-minded people, loving people. It's so easy to watch the news and just believe that the world's full of hate. It's not. Don't let the president convince you of that. This is a country full of love, full of values, and full of rule of law. No one is above the law. Now let's go show this square what our voice is. Thank you.